Now, if you have a disc herniation, disc bulge, post-fusion, and you're trying to train your back, right? So this could be from your traps all the way to your lower back into your hips, and you're scared to death of A, causing more pain, causing more damage, or you're not really sure what you're doing now that's causing the sensitivity after back day. Well, I wanna give you 5 massive back training mistakes that you can apply to your next workout to see instant change in the way your body is responding, how you feel, and how comfortable or in pain your back is. It's gonna change your life. And I wanna point you to a free guide, fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. It's a free blueprint where I break down all of the essential things that you have to make sure your workout is consisting of and not consisting of if you ever want to use exercise as a tool out of pain. You can grab that at fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. The first big mistake I see all the time when it comes to training in the gym, especially on back day, is momentum. We have got to remove momentum from our training programs. Now, there's a lot of reasons why momentum is just obviously not ideal in a low back pain or post-surgery situation. Number one being is you wanna have a lot of control over what you're doing. You wanna have a lot of control over the position of your body and how the weight is affecting that position. If you have a sensitive low back, there's a lot of micro movements, there's a lot of potential instability, and that momentum is going to highlight these weak areas. If you want to build strength around these areas and to get to a point where these are no longer a problem for you and your sensitive back, you've got to remove momentum from your program, slow everything down, and hyper focus on perfect form, mastering each exercise that you're doing. Now, the second mistake you're making on back day, and all of my Smart Strength membership community guys and girls will understand this 100%, and they know they're not making this mistake because you're following a correct program, is not training core first. This habit, for some reason, started a long time ago for a lot of people, a lot of young trainers, is they save core training for last. It's like the last afterthought, the last 15, 20 minutes of the hour session. You're kind of focusing on the floor doing core work. Well, I want you, and I want to encourage you to bring all of your core work to the front of your workout. So you've got your warm up, then you've got your core work. What this is gonna do is gonna give you stability before your workouts actually start. You're gonna feel a sense of stiffness around your spine. This is a great way to kind of get the body prepped, get the core prepped, and also establish a way of protecting that low back when you start doing loaded exercises. Now, there's a lot of great core exercises that you can do, from powerlift presses to side planks to leg raises with side plank. You can do front planks, stir the pots. You can do dead bugs, whatever you want to do. The number one rule when it comes to core training, making sure you're doing it first, but doing neutral spine work. So taking out any kind of twisting, any kind of excessive flexion, and that's going to help you build or reduce your sensitivity in the low back, but also build core strength, core stability around the spine to prep you for your workout. Now, the next major mistake that I see people making all the time is overextension during very specific exercises. One of them is the bent over row. You can also do things like seated cable rows. You might be doing these on a weekly basis. But the problem that you see is getting too much extension. When you're doing the pulling, instead of keeping the ribs down and you're rowing and you're pulling towards you, what you end up doing is you start slamming out on those facet joints. You're really getting extension in that low back so you can kind of crank, and you feel like you're getting a better contraction by doing that. I highly suggest that you remove extension from the actual rowing exercises. So what does that look like? One cue that I like to give people that I'm working with is bringing the ribs down. So getting set, getting into a good position. If it's bent over rows, you're loading the hips, but you're keeping the ribs down and you're not overextending, trying to stick your butt out and bring your chest out. This chest out, butt out coaching cue is just not a good thing to apply when it comes to low back sensitivity or just long-term training. You don't want to build those habits. You're losing power, you're losing strength, but you're also gonna hurt your back. The fourth major mistake I see often is not loading the hips. The hips are the cornerstone of any kind of back issue. So one of the best things you can do is look at the hips and how they move in conjunction with the low back to really kind of help understand why potentially the low back could be taking so much of that stress instead of the hips. So step 1, master the hip hinge. Step 2, progress through the basics of hip hinging. Step 3 would be make sure that you can hinge with some kind of load, whether it be kettlebells, whether it be a barbell, making sure you can do it pain-free. Once you're able to do that and you know that you can keep that load in the hips, then you can progress into some kind of like bent over row, nice and slow. As long as you're not making the first few mistakes that we've covered already in the video, you should be good to go. The 5th and final mistake I see a lot of people make, and I've made it myself in the past, is getting stuck in 1 or 2 variations of back training, right? We think we love barbells. We love doing bent over barbell rows. We like doing bench supported rows, but we just love the barbell. Or we like one specific grip, hook grip, overhand grip, opposite grip, whatever grip that you might be doing. You kind of get stuck in this one way of doing things and you don't change it up enough to give your body variety. What I'm talking about is giving yourself something else to do that can hit the body from a different angle. A good example of this for me personally is my training from 10 years ago versus now. It was very much barbell, it was very much like fixed grip type of stuff where I don't really have any opportunity to like change the way my wrists are positioned. Maybe if I have an easy curl bar or something like that, but barbell curls or barbell rows, it was all done the same way with a fixed grip on that barbell, where now I love doing single arm work. I love doing things that I can have like a cable or some kind of rotating wrist or rotating handle. So when I'm pulling, I can change and make that pull or make that push something more natural to my body. I highly, highly encourage you, if you have kind of had one way of thinking when it comes to building back strength and you want to have more variety, you want to give yourself something more to kind of build off of and hit the body from a different angle, I encourage you to build full long series like month, 2 months, 3, 4 months, where you remove the barbell from your workout and you just do kettlebell work, or you just do dumbbell rows or dumbbell pressing. We're on the topic of back strength building. So when it comes to pulling exercises, can you switch to just single arm stuff? Can you switch to things where you have a handle that can rotate? So when you're pulling it, you can get into more of a natural pull and really get more of a muscle fiber activation. Try it. So that's it. Those are my 5 biggest mistakes that I see people doing on their pull day or their back workout days. Make sure that you cover all 5 of these things, and I promise you, if you do, your low back is gonna thank you. Make sure before you go, you grab that pain-free training blueprint. I break down the tips that we kind of talked about today in more detail, along with how you should structure your workouts and other tips I did not mention on this video that are massively, massively important when it comes to training out of pain or actually having workouts that don't cause more pain in the process. fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.